In the middle of the Caribbean Sea, a family is spending their vacation on their yacht. Mother Julia jumps into the water to swim. While relaxing, she feels something strange, but since nothing is visible around, she thinks maybe it was her imagination. A few seconds later, that strange feeling comes again. Even this time, nothing can be seen, but now she panics and starts swimming toward the yacht. Suddenly, someone starts pulling her leg, and she screams loudly for help. Her daughter Cassie is wearing headphones and listening to music, so she doesn't hear anything. Husband Tom and son Ben are busy fishing. Julia tries to stay above the water, but because water enters her mouth, it becomes hard to shout. After a while, Tom realizes he hasn't seen Julia for quite some time. He searches for her on the yacht and then sees his wife in danger. He calls the kids, steers the yacht toward her, and jumps into the water. Who quickly reaches Julia, holds her and swims toward the yacht. The kids pull them both up. The family takes care of Julia, but Julia convinces herself that maybe it all happened because of the waves. At night, everyone celebrates Ben's birthday together. Cassie gets a call from her boyfriend, so she takes her laptop outside. On the video call, her boyfriend shows that big dark clouds have covered the city. The call glitches and freezes. Cassie goes to tell this to her family, furious, but Tom says maybe the signal is weak because they are far from land. Just then, everyone hears a sound. They all go outside and see a group of whales passing by. Tom explains that whales always follow the Earth's magnetic field, but when a storm comes, they get confused. Suddenly, the yacht shakes strongly, and Ben falls down. Tom worries that maybe the yacht got damaged, so he dives down to check. After some time, he comes back to the surface, but there's a big wound on his shoulder. Julia immediately stitches the wound. Tom says that underwater he felt like there was some huge creature behind him, but when he turned around, he got cut by the propeller. He says whatever that thing was, it was very big. Tom notices a lot of damage on the yacht, so they have to call for help. Julia keeps trying on the radio. Cassie looks for a phone signal, but nothing works. Just then, Cassie sees a strange creature and screams. But it turns out to be Ben, wearing a mask and playing a prank. A little later, the yacht completely shuts down and gets stuck in the middle of the sea. Julia hears a voice on the radio, but the sound is so bad she can't understand anything. Tom tells the family they have only 4 days of food and water left, and now they'll have to wait for a fishing boat to pass by. Suddenly, something gets detected on the radar, and the family hears a weird sound. They rush outside and are shocked to see many meteors falling onto the ground. Wherever the meteors fall, big explosions happen. One meteor falls into the water near them, so Tom quickly tries to start the yacht. The engine barely starts, but then another meteor hits the area. The family holds each other tightly in fear. Then Tom realizes that the fireballs falling aren't meteors, they're satellites. At that moment, Ben sees smoke coming out of the yacht. Tom checks and confirms the engine is damaged. The wind starts blowing hard, so the family hides inside the yacht, not noticing that the compass is spinning wildly. The yacht starts shaking violently again. Ben falls once more and gets hurt this time. The waves crash hard against the yacht. Tom struggles to go outside and brings life jackets. Just then, the power goes out. Tom quickly presses the power box button and the lights come back. At that moment, Ben notices blood coming out of Julia's nose. Julia starts feeling dizzy while Cassie runs to the sink and vomits. Tom keeps trying the radio but gets no signal. Suddenly, a sharp high-pitched noise comes and the wind becomes even stronger. Julia tries to shut the doors, but one hatch opens and the wind starts breaking the windows. Tom lights a flare and after a while, darkness covers everything. The next morning, the family wakes up shocked that they survived the storm, but the yacht is half destroyed. When they go outside, they see the ocean water has disappeared and the yacht is now stuck on land. Everyone is in shock. Cassie checks for signal, but the network is completely down. Ben starts playing with 2 dead crabs. Tom checks the compass and sees it's reversed. This last happened 700,000 years ago. Cassie feels her boyfriend must be dead and breaks down. When Julia tries to comfort her, Cassie pushes her away and hides. Julia and Tom check their remaining supplies. Ben ties his birthday balloons to a rock, hoping some survivor might see them. Tom tries the radio again and this time connects with a man. His name is Now and he's a submarine captain. His submarine is also stuck on land. He confirms that the magnetic poles have reversed, so the oceans have pulled back and the land has sunk. He says he hasn't seen any other survivors and that all communication systems are down. He adds that the poles will reverse again and maybe in a week the ocean will return. He wants the family to climb as high as possible because when the water returns it will be very dangerous. He says his partner died in the crash and that the submarine has space for only 3 people. Julia and Tom plead with him to please save their children. He gives them his coordinates. Tom calculates that it'll take 2 to 3 days to reach the submarine. He tells the family to rest well tonight. Tomorrow morning they'll leave. The next morning while packing supplies, Tom sees something moving nearby. It's a limping man holding a harpoon, with a barking dog beside him. Tom goes to him and offers a bottle of water. But the man speaks in a language Tom can't understand. After drinking water, the stranger suddenly hits Tom on the head with the bottle and kicks him hard in the face. Julia runs in fear, but it's too late. The man stabs Tom in the stomach with the harpoon. Tom writhes in pain for a few moments, then the man slits his throat. He then chases Julia and throws the harpoon at her, injuring her shoulder. Julia, enduring the pain, runs inside the yacht and tells the kids to hide. She locks the door. Cassie and Ben crawl inside the sofa. Julia gives them a flare gun and hides herself in the bathroom with a knife. The man bangs the door hard and finally breaks in. First he takes some food, then starts searching around the yacht. He goes toward the bathroom, but Julia cleverly escapes through a small hole. The man thinks Julia ran away, but as she quietly tries to get out, his dog spots her and barks loudly. The dog jumps on her, so Julia stabs it with the knife, killing it. Hitting the dog's scream, the man comes out and becomes furious seeing his dog's body. Meanwhile, Julia tries to get inside the yacht from the other side, climbing through a broken window. But the man reaches there first. He grabs her and punches her hard, making her fall. Julia grabs furniture to save herself, but he kicks her away. He steps on her wrist, so she drops the knife, grabs her hair, smashes her face to the floor, throws her on the couch, and starts strangling her. The kids watch everything in horror. Cassie comes out and fires the flare gun, which hits the man directly. He catches fire and flames spread inside the yacht. The kids quickly run away, but Julia returns, kicks him down, grabs the map and the bag, and escapes. Ben and Cassie run to their father's body and cry. Julia joins them, and all three say their final goodbye to Tom in tears. Then that terrifying man comes out of the yacht again, so the family runs once more. Moments later, the yacht explodes. After walking some distance, they stop by a small waterfall to rest. Cassie thinks maybe that crazy man came because of the balloons. Hearing this, Ben blames himself. Julia consoles him, saying it wasn't his fault, and tells everyone to keep moving, because that man might still be following them. On the way near a small pond, Ben sees a dead hammerhead shark and is shocked. Julia then notices that the man is again close to them. They all start running and tumble down a sand dune where they find toxic waste. The family carefully crosses it and thinks they finally escaped the man. While walking, they see giant dead sea animals and all the plastic that had been under the ocean. Ben starts walking slowly. Julia realizes he's near dehydration. She asks everyone to stop. When she checks the water bottle, she's shocked. It's almost empty.
Cassie realizes she might not have closed the bottle properly. Julia, angry, yells that because of Cassie's carelessness, the water is gone. Cassie argues, what difference does it make? We're not going to survive anyway. They have a long argument, but the family keeps walking. After a while, they find a crashed plane. They see something moving inside and get scared, but it's just some birds. The family decides to spend the night inside the plane. They share a small snack, and Julia finds a family photo in Tom's jacket, which breaks her heart. Cassie asks, Mom, what was your and Dad's love story? Julia smiles and says, Tom was my patient in the hospital. One day he gave me flowers and a sweet poem to express his love. At midnight, Cassie goes outside the plane. Suddenly, that scary man tries to grab her from behind, but Julia attacks him from behind and repeatedly stabs him until he dies. Cassie hugs her mother to calm her down. Next morning, insects crawl over the man's dead body. The family notices many bite marks on it, meaning some dangerous creature is hidden in the area. As they leave, crabs start crawling out of his mouth. Hours later, Julia and Cassie are checking the map, but Ben quietly walks ahead. Julia shouts, stop, but Ben bends down and starts drinking from a pond. Julia quickly pulls him out and warns that unknown water can make him sick, so they cover their heads with cloth. Ben starts feeling dizzy. Then they find some old chairs and Julia and Cassie build a temporary shelter. Julia gives Ben an injection and decides they'll spend the night there. In the morning, Julia wakes up to a strange noise. She goes outside and sees a huge swarm of crabs approaching. She immediately wakes the kids and they all start running. While running, they find a large cargo ship. 3 crew members are alive there. A woman wants to help them, but the other 2 men refuse and lock the family outside the container. The crabs come closer. Julia lifts the kids onto the container, and when she tries to climb, the crabs bite her leg hard. The kids pull her up before she falls. Through a hole in the container, some crabs crawl inside. The crew members start shooting, but the crabs overpower and kill them. The last man reaches the roof, but the crabs pull him down too, killing him. After some time, she wakes up alone in a sandstorm. Panicking, she starts searching for her children. She picks up a weapon from a dead woman and shouts loudly. Cassie hears her mother's voice and returns, telling her that she and Ben went to look for help but found none. Then they find Ben, who has found an open container where they can stay until the storm ends. Julia takes out Tom's lighter and burns her wound shut. A very painful process. After the storm, they find another container full of water bottles. While checking the bodies, they also find a radio and a gun. Julia contacts the submarine and says the map is lost. Now tells her that arthropods had attacked them. They're now those same creatures who've gone mad because of oxygen. Now tells them to hurry. His instruments have calculated that the ocean will return sooner than expected, and they have only a few hours left. He fires a flare, and the family starts walking in that direction. After a long walk, they find a broken toilet where Ben pees. Finally, they see the submarine nearby. But to reach it, they must cross a rocky path. As they cross, the walls start shaking. Rocks fall, and a terrifying rock slide happens. Julia pushes her kids aside and steps back to avoid being crushed. Now a wall of rocks stands between them. Julia tells the kids to go ahead without her. But Cassie refuses and insists her mother must try to climb. After much arguing, Julia promises she'll find them later.
Helplessly, Cassie pulls her brother and runs ahead. The kids climb the rocky path and reach the submarine, but find Now lying outside covered in blood. He says it's over for him and tells the kids they can take the submarine, now there's one extra space. Cassie runs back to find her mother. Meanwhile, Julia sees the crabs coming and starts shooting. She kills some, but the swarm is too large. Then Cassie appears above the wall and reaches out her hand. Despite her injured leg, Julia climbs quickly. With Cassie's help, she makes it to the other side and both run toward the submarine. Ben, already on top, starts firing to distract the crabs. As soon as the crabs reach the submarine, they begin eating it. Julia keeps firing until the kids get inside. When they're safe, she realizes the bullets are over, throws the gun at the crabs and goes inside with her children. The family locks the hatch tightly and watches the crabs surrounding the submarine. Just then the ocean returns. They quickly sit, fasten their belts and hold each other's hands. Massive waves toss the submarine violently. Julia sees visions of their entire journey and Cassie throws up. Soon that high-pitched sound returns and the family faints. After some time, Julia and the kids regain consciousness and feel happy to be alive. They unlock the hatch, step outside and see that the waves have thrown the submarine into a ruined city. It means there's hope to survive and begin a new life. And that's where the film ends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you keep getting such amazing videos. Thank you for watching.